Hey everyone, Jim T. Graham and Jason Cole with the RCGroups.com, and it is Thursday. What's happening, Jason?
Hey, there we go. Unmute. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Mute. It's hard to do
Mute.
it that way, isn't it? Well, I
Yeah,
have
man.
big news today about the online trade show, some updates, some content that I've been working on all week long, and more content to come. What are you doing this week, Jason?
What am
I
I
mean,
doing this week?
well, what are you
Working
doing for the podcast this today?
today? Oh, I have a couple of things to show
What
that I've
are
been
you doing
messing
this
with.
week, Jason? Awesome. I'm going to the live chat to see who jumps on there. What everyone cannot see are the interviews that I've been doing behind the scenes and the
Yep.
stories that I've been creating behind the scenes that are not live but will go live. And of course, we're talking about 1 second. Let me get everything rocking here. Some things tend to uh, change each time I start a new broadcast. There's Jason.
Hey.
What's up, Jason? And there I am. So we've been working on the RC Group's online trade show. And by we, I'm talking about companies across the internet that have reached out to say we would love to be a part of this. And the great part is it comes at a time where I feel like something like this is needed not only by the companies that can't go to trade shows and do what they do regularly, but also uh, for guys like and girls like us that are at the house and need something to look at, something to buy, something to work on. And so hopefully we provide a solution for all of that. And so what I'm going to do today is go over some trade show information, what you can look forward to, and then we're going to go and we might as well do it now and knock it all out. So I'm going to head over to the website.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff, man. I mean, it's unfortunate that, Toledo and all these events are getting shut down, but this is the future of trade shows is online, so this is cool.
It's something I've been thinking about for a couple of years and never pulled the trigger on because I didn't want to step on too many toes. I really think it's because we were always busy traveling, coming home, catching
Mhm.
up, traveling, coming home, catching. There was no way to do an online trade show during the middle of all that.
Yeah. Spring was crazy.
So if you go, this is interesting, and I'll try to explain it the best I can for you, the user, and maybe even an advertiser, because what you're seeing here is not the way this is going to look when this goes live. And so this is the online trade show section at the top of the site. And then we have the trade show booths. So we'll click in there. This is what it's going to look like when it goes live. And by that, I mean, this is what you'll see on the home page of the site. Everything will be opened up like this. And so in the learn more, the teaser here, this is just a feature article talking about uh, what we're going to do. So new product releases, I'm working with companies like Horizon, and let me adjust something real quick. I'm working with companies like Horizon, and I was just on the phone with Chris Henson. So let's talk about that. Chris Henson has 4 new airplanes. Jason and I were going to head
Yeah.
out to Chattanooga and videotape, take photos, interview, create feature stories. And of course, that was canceled. So we can't do that. So I called Chris and I'm like, look, man, I'm putting you in the trade show. Chris was also our sponsor of the Joe Nall event
Yep.
coverage.
Yep.
So I said, let's work hard and work together to get coverage out on these airplanes that you're releasing. So Chris is working on some videos. And then we're also next week going to get together throughout the week of the trade show, and we're going to go remotely into his shop where all the airplanes live.
Nice.
And we're going to go talk to him, and he's going to tell us about it, ask questions, and I'll create little features. Now, there's not any, like for Chris, there won't be buy links because these airplanes aren't available. We're just announcing them. You'll be the first person to see them. They haven't gone live anywhere. And that was kind of the goal of the trade show, because if you were to go to Toledo, you would see things that you couldn't see before the doors opened. And so that's kind of the concept here. So, show deals. And I'll go over this a little bit more as we go through individual companies. There will be show deals and discounts that I've worked out with companies. Industry interviews, as I've said, I pre-taped some industry interviews, like with Gator RC, and that's a good story. So, well, I'll save it. I'll save it for the show or for the
Okay.
trade show. And
Teaser.
so then down here we have our vendors booths. Now, let me say this. Let's say that you're watching this and you're like, hey, I want to be in the trade show. It's not too late. This is going to be running for 7 days, which I think is maybe a little long. Maybe it should run Monday to Friday. And I've never done this before. This is the first time ever. I've already learned a lot. Just
We're gonna figure it out as we go, right?
yeah, I've learned a lot before the show has even started. So after the show, I'll certainly learn a lot. So Gator RC really got this kicked off. They contacted me. You know what? There's nothing in here, and I can't show you my secret stories.
Haha. Save it.
Yeah, but gonna go back, and so what I'll do is I have a Gator RC piece put together promoting their show deal just for rcgroups.com that will be released and limited time only for the trade show. And then when you go into the Gator RC section, you'll also see airplanes that they're featuring. And all these airplanes are brand new and shipping as we speak. I talked to Ashley and Mike. Mike is the owner. Ashley's his daughter. And Ashley's a marketing major who left the company she worked for to work with her dad. And so we sit
Cool.
in the studio, talk about how they got into this. The plane, they built a plane for us to look at that's behind them in the video. And all that will go with their features. And so that will be live when the show starts tomorrow. High Tech RC D. I interviewed Mike Mayberry. And so Mike came at me as well as Suzanne, and they said, here's our ideas. And I said, that's 3 or 4 videos, I think. So let's do an intro video, which I
Cool.
already did. And I've created a piece for you on High Tech and what they want to talk about, some interesting new servos, answering some questions that users had. And so we got that. But then later in the week, Mike and I are going to get back on live. And that way you can ask him questions and say, tell me about this, tell me about that. And then Horizon Hobby is releasing. We've got a contest that I worked out with Horizon Hobby. We have a show deal, limited time only, that will be going. And so they're going to release like each day, there'll be something different added to, taken away. So that's going to be a lot of, that one's got me a little nervous, Jason. That's going to be a lot of finagling and figuring out.
What does?
Well, just the sheet on getting everything in and out of that show throughout the week is long. So
Yeah.
but once it's live and I see it and I feel how it's working, I will relax into the trade show. Balsa USA has a contest for an airplane. They have a deal going on. I did an interview with Mean Joe for Million where we talk about the origins of his name as well as how to build. Yeah, because we were there. And so we also talk about what it takes to build stick build an airplane, the easiest plane they have to build, the most awesome airplane they have to build. And if you're looking for something to do, that is a great place to start. Rosenthal
Nice.
Models. Jason, do you know Rosenthal?
I do not. Tell me about them.
There are, as far as I can tell, they're a cell plane company.
Ooh,
And
okay.
I'm going to get some information in from them today, and so they've gone all in on the show, and I'm still waiting to see what we get from them. And that brings us to mustache models. And so David is providing me with information. They've got an airplane release and a video, and we're talking about doing a live interview from his shop. And then Scorpion was our Seth sponsor, and of course that's been canceled. Everything's
Yep.
been canceled. Just if you're wondering if it's canceled, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I got a call from, we'll go look at that in a second. We'll talk about Joe Nall in a second. But Scorpion has some things, and so they reached out to me and said, we'd like you to talk about this. And so that's going to happen. And so that's the end of my list right now. So there's show deals, contests, new products, and information from all these companies. And once again, if you want to be in the show, let me know. We can make that happen. So let's see if I am going to go into Joe Nall. I talked to Rob, the marketing guy for Joe Nall for Triple Tree yesterday.
Yeah.
And so he told me about this, and he said this is coming out tomorrow. And I told him that I'd already assumed this wasn't happening. And so basically the takeaway is Triple Tree is not going down, and they're refunding everyone's money. So let's say that you said, I don't want my money back. I want you to keep it. They're going to refund your money anyway. So once they've completely cleared out the refunds and it's all a clean swipe, then
Probably
if
just makes it easier to not have to get that straight.
I don't know if this is the case or not, but I believe that after the flooding issue, and I'm sure they had to deal with and untangle all of that, and so I
Mm-hmm.
bet they've decided it's easier to just hit the refund button. And then if you want to donate after they've refunded, and he said, look, we're not asking for donations. There's no donate link right now. But if you want to do that after all the refunds are done and it's all cleaned up, feel free to do that. And then stay tuned to future shows. And then while we're here, we
And
can.
then the week after that, which was the MidSouth Soaring competition held at Triple Tree as well, that I was going to go to, is also canceled.
So it's all canceled.
Yeah,
And
and which is really, I don't know. I guess they're, I think they're doing it a little premature. I know you have a lot of people planning and booking flights for Joe Nall at least. I can see that happening, but nobody's talked about May yet of closing stuff down. Like, it's just April. So we got a month, and then, hopefully everything's back to normal or close to it, and you can still have events in May and June and July. But
mm,
but they're already shutting stuff down, I guess, because of the planning that goes into it, and then have the potential for it to be canceled later is going to be tough, I guess. So
I'm fairly certain everything will be shut down at least until July.
yeah, I can't
So,
see it lasting that long, man. Flu season's just about over, and this ain't going to last longer than that.
well, let's not get into talking about our theories on medical issues
There you go.
since we don't know. But I do know this: these shows are not happening. Um, I tell you what else is happening, and that is old users are coming back to the site like crazy. And so I think I've touched on this before, but I'm spending my mornings helping old users figure out their username, their
Yeah,
password.
same here. Passwords, yep.
Yeah. And
Resets,
so
yep.
so I created remind me not to forget that I have a big note at the end of what we're about to talk about here because something happened yesterday. Basically, what I did is I tried to create a list of things that you might need to know if you're coming back or if you're a new user, things that
I
people
saw that. Yep.
ask us all the time. And so this could help you. And if it doesn't help you, then post in this thread or shoot me a PM or Jason a PM, and we can help you get back on the site. I want to say this doesn't apply to band members. So if
Ah.
you were banned, somebody was like, I hear you're bringing back band members. I'm going to tell you straight up, Jason, just like I told my wife yesterday. If you're banned, you're banned for a reason. And no, this doesn't apply to band users. Sorry. We gave you 24 tries. I
Right.
was blown away. I was trying to get this guy back on, trying to get him on. What's your username? No, that's not it. No, what's this? What's this? And then finally I was like, wait a minute. Are you banned? And he's like, yeah, I'm banned. And I'm like, okay, I digress. Sorry, it just seemed a
Yeah.
little crazy. I guess, bonus points for trying.
There you go. But yeah,
Um,
it is. You said you had a note. Was that the note?
that was the note.
That was the note. Yeah, there's been a good uptick in internet traffic to the point where I think over in Europe they're having to limit streaming services, streaming quality for bandwidth issues.
I can
It's
tell
like
you that we're
crazy.
up by a gigantic amount on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And 2 days ago, we were right at 50,000 unique users a day. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
that's pretty good. And so you have to ask yourself, how do I look at this? And I look at us as creating a resource for people that are at home and need something to do, love the hobby. And so if we can create information and a home for you to hang out at, then that's what we're here for. And then hopefully next week, starting Friday, the trade show will also offer you an opportunity to see new stuff. And then let me say this: how would I do this? I'm gonna switch over, and I'm gonna go to YouTube. So your question is, let's say next week, who's that guy? Next week,
Right.
you want to be a part of the live chats, and so I'm scheduled to talk with Horizon at different points. I'm scheduled to talk with Mike Mayberry. I'm scheduled to talk to mustache models, and probably more. And so, what a great picture. It's like when you freeze a TV show, only it could be worse, I guess. Go to YouTube and go to right here. I'm circling it, RCG videos, and hit the subscribe button. And when you do, you'll get notifications when we go live. And you might be like, well, why do I need to see it live? It's so that you can hang out in the live chat right here. Hey.
Yeah, what's up, everybody?
You're
In the
live.
chat.
And then you could ask questions and see it as it's happening. And this would be a virtual RC cocktail party, which I've yet to get going at my house of having friends over. But this would be your RC friends that you can hang out and talk to.
Is that a meme? Is that like a when you realize you're down your last roll of toilet paper?
Right there. Yes, caption this photo. I'll tell you what. Here's where it's bad. It's bad when when every piece of toilet paper you're like, and then I ran out. You're like, oh God, before you're like, hey, what the,
yeah, willy nilly.
And then the other day I ran out of my first roll of paper since the emergency, and I was like, wigging, like, oh, I don't want to. This is horrible.
Yes. So, it's funny, man.
And then my wife was like, where's the toilet paper? And I said, I put it in the basement to keep it from getting wet if it rains. And she said, what about mice? And I'm like, oh, it's come to this now. We're worried about mice eating our toilet paper.
Uh-oh.
It's a real deal. Okay, anyway, we're back on this topic.
There you go. So trade show starts tomorrow?
Starts tomorrow. So information for everyone to know, tricky business for me. Trade show theoretically starts at 8:30. I have content I've got to make live, but I'm being interviewed by Horizon for their podcast at 9 Central Standard Time, my time. So that will take an hour. So I guess I'm going to get up early, try to get as much content loaded up as I can, do the live interview, which you should watch, and then come back and then see what I need to tweak, and then have it set up for the weekend. And then I guess we'll see how it rolls out for the rest of the week.
Yeah, should be interesting.
The contest, I believe, for Horizon is going to start on Sunday, and we'll talk about what you can win and how you can win it, using some of our tried and true tactics from the past. And so now I'm going to look over at the live chat. We have
Shelby's talking about a bidet.
A bidet, yes, Shelby. I have looked into bidets. I really find that hard to believe that I would ever do such a thing.
I got to tell you, I tried one a few days ago.
Did you?
I did, at a buddy's house. And
okay, what are you doing going to a buddy's house
a
few days
there's
ago?
Nothing wrong with going to healthy people's houses.
Jason?
Okay. No, actually, they're like family, and it's
Is it the ones with 9 kids?
Yes, that's my family. They're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We can see each other. Nobody's got it. It's not a big deal. We're not spreading it to other people. Okay. So calm down. All right. But anyway, they had a bidet, and I tried the bidet, and I'm sitting on the toilet, and he's like, you got to try this thing. So I go in there, and it's like, whoa! It's like, holy cow. Well, it works. It was quite the experience. And, I could see how the need for not having toilet paper would cause such a thing to be in existence.
Shelby's doing a review on his bidet, and you can find that on RCGroups later in the week.
There you go.
Jason, what do you have for us this week?
Well, so this will be, it's not really a sneak peek, but it's not really ready for me to fully talk about it yet because I haven't flown it. I think I'm going to go out and fly it this afternoon. This is the UMX Turbo Timba. Isn't it cute? Isn't it gorgeous?
I bet it flies great.
It looks awesome. So it's got a little hatch there. I'm going to turn it on because I want you to see if you haven't seen it before. I kind of like the lights on this thing. Can you plug this in one-handed? Probably not. There we go. So we've got ole, 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 ole. There you go. So you got landing lights in the front. You've got lights on the bottom. You've got wingtip lights left and right, flashers, lights on the top. It's just really cool, and it looks pretty good. It's got a powerful brushless motor, so it's a little bit more powerful than the original UMX Timber. Now this is the turbo. Timber, so it's got that longer nose, with the turbo exhaust outlets sitting there, and big Tundra tires and flaps, if you can tell, flaps and ailerons. So it should be a whole lot of fun. I know the UMX Timber is probably regarded as one of the best micro planes out there, so I'm sure this is going to be just as good with a little more power and a whole lot of stall kind of micro fun.
Do you have a feature on this anywhere?
We did when it was announced a while, a little ways back.
But do you have a review on this thing?
This is a review product. I haven't flown it yet, so I haven't written the review yet.
Okay. I thought we might find some review build photos.
No, yeah. This is coming down the pike. I just got this in the other day, so
nice.
Just getting started on it.
And it took you 3 minutes to build it.
Yeah, it took you all of no minutes to build it. You do have a slot here for an extra landing gear, which is great for adding the float set, so you can fly it off floats too. So anyway, that's a lot of fun. I'm going to really enjoy that. I think I'm going to try to get some flights in this afternoon because the weather is just going to be epically nice the next few days. So that's that. And
you got to do it.
Do I got to do it?
Yeah. You did a whole article on it. You got to do it.
This was just something fun to do when you're stuck at home. So I built a lightsaber. It's got smooth swing.
Hit it with your hand.
Flash on flash, flash on clash.
Have you hit your wife? Have you had a sword fight or anything at the house?
I haven't hit her. Well, I have hit her, but not hard. Not in a way.
Saber taps. So here's the review, and then if you're like, oh, that's cool, but no, look, this is the product list. You got to have the DIY empty hilt, the soundboard, the flagship FDM Echo chassis.
It's kind of like building a drone. Like there's circuit boards and wires and soldering, and you're building this thing. And I think that's kind of one of the reasons why it was so fun to me. I love Star Wars to begin with, but to be able to build it from the parts and literally put it together yourself and not just buy it pre-made, that was, I think on this one, the building experience is just as fun as actually just flinging it around.
And so there are people that make these aluminum parts.
Yeah, there's all kinds. There's a giant saber community that I never knew really existed. And yeah, if people custom machine parts and have, conversion kits, and that black piece is 3D printed. So there's guys that design 3D printed chassis to fit different saber companies' hilts and their designs. And you kind of load it up with the speaker and your soundboard of choice. And so this is kind of level one, I'd say. The board I put in here was kind of a beginner board designed for first timers. It's called the Verso.
And was there a soundboard involved, or is that on the board itself?
Yeah, that is the circuit board is all included. It's the soundboard and the light controller and all that stuff all in one unit.
Gotcha.
So the next version of the board that I'm going to get I'm actually going to replace this one. It does all the same things. It has smooth swing, but it will also have a secondary button, and you can do like blaster bolts. That'll be like localized white flashes on the blade in different areas, like you're getting shot by a blaster and blocking it. And then like a whole lockup where it goes white, like you've clashed two sabers together and they're fighting each other, along with a myriad of other features. Just kind of fun. Just you got to take it at this starter level, and then you like anything else we do, we push it to the nth degree and tweak it out. So, but I was thinking of you, Jim, because I did the leather wrap myself on that handle, and I was like,
leather?
That's leather. It's genuine cowhide leather.
Nice.
And so I got to do the wrap on that and learn how to cut leather and work with it a little bit. And I was like, I bet Jim could do this.
I would almost. I'm sure black is the way it actually looks, but tan would look really good.
Oh, they have all kinds of colors.
Red would look good. Maybe red with the black.
Mm-hmm. And then I actually used hobby parts, so like the O-rings that I used to keep my propellers folded back on my F5J neutrino sailplane. I was able to put some of those pieces on there to kind of give it a little bit more contrast on the all aluminum hilt. So anyway, it's kind of silly, but it's really fun. And if you're looking for a project, you're kind of bored and you're out of model airplane stuff and you like Star Wars, then This might be something you'd be interested in doing.
This should be a GIF. Let's go back to that. Just forever.
There you go. The infinity spin. The Obiani.
Are you going to put this up on your shelf? You've got the AR, the
Well,
samurai.
actually, I've got a. It's behind that view here. I've actually got a picture of it. I can. Well, you're doing that, but I do have it on my wall next to the posters on the back wall. I 3D printed a vertical mount holder. It just kind of slides in and keeps it in place. Looks like it's floating on the wall. Fun stuff. You got to stay busy, guys. You need projects. You need repair your house, do some yard work, whatever you got to do during this time, right?
I have never been busier at RCGroups than I have been in the last 2 weeks.
Well, I'm talking about the people that have normal jobs that don't have jobs right now.
Yes.
They're sitting at home and looking for stuff to do. That's what you do.
So I want to reiterate, the show starts Friday. You can find it here. It will literally be down the front page. All the stories in this will be feature articles. If they're not, I will make them so. And so you'll be able to also find them in our magazine. And then the other piece, you know what? I'll create a feature at some point that says to see us live, go here. And then I'll have links so you can go do all that. And then you can make sure that you see any live interviews that are going on. And there you go. You got anything else, Jason?
That's it, man.
All right.
Looking forward to some good weather.
Well, everybody be careful out there. And be sure and join us at the online trade show. Support these companies. There'll be a little side feature for all the advertisers in RCGroups, so you can support everyone who supports us. And by us, I mean the hobby, because right now is the time where we need to support them and keep them going and give you things to do in the shop and make the RC magic. All right, y'all. 2:29. It's a 30-minute podcast. I believe the optimal time frame for a podcast. Brian, as always, thanks for joining us. Shelby, great to see you. Victor, awesome. Enrique, hasta pronto. All right, y'all. It's the RCGroups podcast.